Hey, Dan Miller here on the 250 River with Dr. Dan. This is Addendum. This is Addendum to yesterday's show. Looked back at the game film, football, looked back at the game film, said, man, I've got to do better. More than that, I've got new information. More than that, I've got new important information. Let's go back to it. We'll get to the sponsor, who's from yesterday. We're bringing him forward to today. That's one of my new information pieces you need to know. So, just got to say, right? We're at the Congress third week of October, 1774, 250 years ago. This is so important for all of us now. We talk about the American founding. We automatically begin to think about the Constitution, Constitutional Convention, all of the documents and debates and things around that. Okay. We talk about the American founding. We talk about the Declaration of Independence, the American Revolutionary War, all the people, places, and episodes around that. Okay. But talk about the American founding. Talk about 250 years ago right now and what the Congress has accomplished in Philadelphia in 1774 in late October. In a little triangle. Over here we've got one document, the Articles of Association. Over here we have a second document, which would be the petition or the grievances to the king. And then up here we have the address or the outreach to the people of Canada. Folks, this is the American Union. It's not the American government. It's before that. It's not the American nation. It's before that. It's the American Union. This is the first time the American people have said, we are us. We are U.S. We are us. We are in union together, unified, and I'll just unionized, but in a different way than we use that word now. We are us. 9 years before this, they had a Stamp Act Congress, came together, 9 of the colonies, about one specific thing and tried to get that one specific thing alleviated. That was the Stamp Act. They did that. Before that, that would have been 11 years before that, 1754, Benjamin Franklin proposes an Albany Plan of Union on the verge of what will be World War I, is how we ought to think about it. Hardly anybody paid any attention to that. So 1754 comes and goes. 1765 comes and goes. 1774, late October, we get to our documents and the union that is proposed by the Congress in Philadelphia. It's an amazing moment. We really need to think about this particular moment as part of the American founding and how it comes down to us today in 2024. Now, just want to share one thing with you, again, from yesterday, from our generous sponsor, Benjamin Bucktrout. I decided to do a little bit of information digging, a little research last night. Found out some stuff about Mr. Bucktrout, and you need to know. He's been in Williamsburg, colony of Virginia, since 1765, back in that Stamp Act year. He immigrated from England. Where he is before that, I don't know. But he comes over to Virginia, comes over as a cabinet maker, becomes a merchant in addition to being a cabinet maker. I gave you that long list of things that he had for sale yesterday. Gosh, it's A to Z. Just it goes from hair to be used for the stuffing of your mattress, to beer and wine and playing cards and everything in between. But there's an odd little item that I included from the list. Trowels. Trowels. Trowels, the things you use to lay down plaster, cement, whatever, on top of stones, bricks, and everything else. Trowels he had listed. Odd. Even stranger than the hair, to be perfectly honest about it. Well, I know kind of why he's got that. It means something. You see, Mr. Bucktrout is a member of the Freemasons Lodge in Williamsburg. And the Freemasons are this secret organization that has existed since the 17th century, which, well, hang on a second. The stonemasons gathered together. They were the high-end guild. They were seen as the most advanced trade guild in England, the stonemasons. And then in the early 7th or in the early 18th century, the early 1700s, they formed together as the Freemasons. and they add on a component of moral growth and moral leadership. And they meet in secret, and they have secret rituals, and they have secret symbols, but they have a common purpose. Now, for sometimes it's socializing, just flat out having a good meal and a good glass of ale like I've got here. I'm halfway to being that now, right? Halfway to being a Mason. But they also get together to pursue moral excellence, specifically in the form of virtue. They believe in a higher power. They believe in the perfectibility of men and women. They believe in scientific rationality and enlightened reason. And Benjamin Bucktrout is one of the very first members of the Williamsburg Lodge, who is not wealthy, who is not well off, who's not well connected. He's a kind of a middle class guy, very skilled in his work as a cabinet maker, very entrepreneurial in his pursuits as a merchant. We've seen that. But the trowel was the key. The trowel is one of the symbols of the Masons, because a Mason uses a trowel. And so why does he sell trowels among all of the other things, like I mentioned earlier, the hair and the playing cards and the wine and the beer? It's because it's for his fellow Masons. It's because he's saying, we're together, I'm one of you, you're one of me, Masons. Now, the Williamsburg chapter is new. It's one of the most active. It's one of the most progressive, small p, in their sense of that word, with regard to moral leadership, moral guidance, moral instruction, virtue, nature's God, and all of the rest. And they believe in certain other symbols, the number 3, the trio, or the triad, the triangle that I laid out earlier. They believe very strongly 3 pillars are part of their moral outlook. So when they hear about, or when Benjamin Bucktrout will hear about those 3 documents produced by the Congress, which includes Masons, he'll be nodding his head, yes. When he reads in those 3 documents, that one of the documents, the one about the Articles of Association, talks top to bottom about how people can perfect themselves in their economic activity. We can become better people through wiser economic activity. He's going to nod yes. When he reads in one of the other 3 documents about kind of these universal principles that go all the way back into ancient times, into antiquity, which is a big attraction to the Masons, like himself, he's going to nod yes. Yes. So there's an interesting tie between the outcomes of the Congress 250 years ago this October, late October, and Mr. Bucktrout's Masonry ideas, Masonry beliefs. You need to know one other thing, and I'll let you go. He carves, and I'll put them up on the YouTube for this. He carves these 2 magnificent chairs for the Master Mason, the one who's in the seat of King Solomon, or in the seat of the Master in King Solomon's temple. Remember, we talked about going all the way back. So it's Mr. Bucktrout who carves that out for the use in Williamsburg and in the Governor's Palace of Virginia. I just thought we should take another moment here today and realize the importance of what happened, both in public and in secret, 250 years ago today, late October of 1774. Thank you so much. Appreciate you hanging out with me. I'll let you get back to the game. Take care, and I'll see you very soon.